How's it going, ladies and Bruce? Up, Sixkilla, welcome back to Disco Elysium. I changed up our look here, just for the stats wise, you know what I mean. We need to go talk to Classy. That's going to be the next thing, so lots of loading. Cut through the loading screens. Alrighty, this should be just about the last time we need to interview Classy, except when we don't have Kim with us. We need to come talk to her then too.
It's always good to see you.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened. I understand. She puts her coffee mug on the table. You sent us on a runaround. I know. She looks down for a moment, hiding her eyes behind her bangs. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. For all this, for wasting your time. This is good. Clear the air first between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shh, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired, a twig trying so hard not to break. Why'd you waste our time then? Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. She looks at her feet. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. That's not a good enough reason. You're right, there's more. More? You answer to the coalition government and, by extension, the moral intern. She reaches for a new cigarette. The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern. You don't have to worry. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. She lights a cigarette. What's going on? What did you do? Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will. What happens if they do? They'll kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. There's a wince and a pained little smile. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her. What happened here the night he died? We were there. She points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together in bed, I mean. Tell me exactly what happened. Okay, she takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. He just entered me. I was on my back looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. She breathes out. A moment's silence. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. A great pain moves through her. A dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. Then what happened? He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor there. She points through the window. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. There was a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides. Then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come, for me. I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butter's burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss. Oh. She looked at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. Sorry this happened to you. So am I. She immediately proceeds to light another one. What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible. 11:30 to 12:15, I don't know the exact time. Around midnight. That's okay. He makes a note. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. This doesn't fit with the testimony of Titus Hardy. He said she was higher than usual. Titus said you look pretty high. Oh yeah, she tilts her head. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head. Good thinking. Clears your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset. Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this? No. What'd you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my own room, downstairs. I had some clothes on and crawled back up. Drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there'd be people down there. What did you do to have these people after you? It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje. What exactly did you do? Industrial espionage? I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. He taps on his notebook. I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you. The job was in Luce-Duin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Luke-Sap conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company, you wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Luce-Scap and their friends in the MI. She breathes out heavily. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. Loose Scap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Earberg, and the popular Papa Lello line of dairy products. That's a lot of shit you got yourself into. It is. Many people lost their job. Not just C-suite, ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting. She shakes her head at the thought. A lot of people got hurt, she concludes. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot? When he was shot, she thinks I may have. I don't know. Couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. What happened after you ran downstairs? Sylvie was tending the bar. She looks down. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. She pauses. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Before we continue, who's Ruby? Ruby, you know, the leader. The leader of what? The Hardy Boys. She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen. Like, things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. Okay, let's get on. What then? Well, Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, taking care of things. They helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright. To mislead you. They were tampering with the body. To produce lividity matching a hanging. Yes. We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death? About 20 minutes, yeah. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what it does. She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what'd you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lally in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armor too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something, so I did. This Ruby, where is Ruby now? I don't know, I haven't seen her since. We'll need to take this question to the Hardy Boys. Interesting. Why did Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. Could the people coming after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head. And then I heard the glass break, and I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at her cigarette. So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Either way, something to consider. We can't go over loose Scap. Not yet. There are other saner leads. I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. If they want to kill me, they'll kill me. If they want to toy with me, they will. She's come to this conclusion weeks ago. Why'd you call the cops if you're hiding? Because I'm an idiot. The answer comes fast. Idiot? She's nothing of the sort. I don't think so. What did you do? Why did you do it? You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. She shakes her head, so I called you. I hope with all my heart that it's not the last thing I do in Red Patrol. She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. When was the window changed? Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. She takes a drag. You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. In your bedroom, inside. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. I think we're done here for now. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke. She just picks up a cold coffee and holds it in her hand. The lieutenant glances at you then at the door. He's thinking, are we done here? We can do this one, 72. We might be able to get that. Wait, what? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station? Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention. A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. Your real name isn't Classy Amando. I agree. The lieutenant turns to her. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you. Okay, her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? Okay, it's not. I knew it. You log your work every week, and it's all transmitted to Common Sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name, so I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. She looks at her hands. Her fingernails are chipped white. I'm so tired of it. She's not lying now. She really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotic she's been on is wearing off. Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you keep hidden? No, it's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast. Oh, I know where that is. In the reeds. It's just... doesn't say Classy Amanda. It says Anuk Major Smith. Falsified documents? Passport and visa, she nods. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name Major Smith to hurt me. Why would they do that? I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly, she rushes to explain. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now. Where is this boy? West of the boardwalk in the reeds. On the coast there. She points to a clump of ruins on the western horizon. Put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. Not sure I could even find it now. It's useless. We'll get that. The lieutenant makes a note of it. You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here. Past the broken sewage pipe. Right near the waterline. Tell me your real name. It's Katerzine Alexji. The smile on your face is timid, almost painfully so. It's not grad name. It's Zemesk or Yugo grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, targa, economic desolation, and rock music infused with alcoholism. Hold on. It's not an Iranian name. It's not even Mundi. It's grad. My parents was Misk immigrants. I'm nationalized, Iranian. All I remember is Iranian. She stays silent. Alex Z is my father's name. Finally we meet. She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind of the roof. Enough. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station. I did. She takes a step forward. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it was. The numbers are all over town. Call 8102 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed. That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire. By looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says. What time did you make the call? Thursday night. It was late. Sometime after 12. Lieutenant nods in your direction. Checks out. Cool. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. Alright, that's enough. Go talk to Titus again, I guess. Oh wait, we need to reconstruct the evidence, or reconstruct the scene from here, if we can. 92%, easy. The golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it there are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on a single bed. What position are they in? Like the woman said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th, and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible direction converges in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. Where does it come from? From the roof outside. Location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. Have a look at point A, the roof. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is a composite location, a prime. Most likely of the origin points. So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made? 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Bell Margrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies. Could the shot have come from inside the room? A closer point. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective. Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof? None that you've found thus far, but it doesn't mean there aren't any. Could there have been another point of origin, further away? That's 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez. According to your map of the district, the shot could have come from the wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an inlet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. More precisely, B is for boardwalk, for Land's End, and B for the inlet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in. The boardwalk. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance a skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest, even with the light on outside. We're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. Land's End. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. The inlet. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an inlet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay window between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the inlets is questionable. Inspect the ghostly figures. The man does not know that the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof, in Martinez? From where precisely? Let's say B prime boardwalk, B double prime Land's End, B triple prime the inlet. I see you've given this a lot of thought, he remarks, raising an eyebrow. Are those the locations you've singled out, in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Much less than the roof, but still. Okay, well, we should see if there is any gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. If it's the hidden path through the whirling, a simple hypothesis. That's a good point. Alright, let's head... no, not that. I'm going to head down and talk to Titus. I only really need to talk to him about Ruby. Probably won't be stoked about talking about it though.
It's you again. What is it?
I talked to Classy, now I need to talk to Ruby. Why? He leans back and regards you with curiosity. Because she's your real leader. You're cuckoo, cop. He smiles and hides a flash of anger. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it or fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby. Sounds like you want to push the steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Not on my watch, you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not going to throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit. And fuck you too, moral. He throws up a glance at Titus. As the last syllable leaves his lips, the big guy sighs. Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys. That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. He crosses his arms. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now? I think we will keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking. Present a solid theory as why Ruby could have done it. 97%. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze, floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him? Because she was here all night with us. He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101. She was here all night. The lieutenant ignores the tattooed man. 11:30 to 12:25. She was here during all that time. Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there. He points to the karaoke stage. She didn't go to the toilet? No. That's a lie. In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you the whole time. Alright, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She had a complex operation to run from her lorry. He points to the intersection. She's a busy girl. Always has been. This complex operation is probably something illegal. Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. He taps on his temple. I've been through this. It's not plausible. Alright, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. That was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You do agree the shot came from the roof, right? Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Classy's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast, but like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots, so no. He shakes his head. I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. There's a 72% chance the bullet came from the roof. 72%. He picks up his beer. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get that from? Your guys in the lab? Definitely lie. The truth is not credible. I analysed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that. No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science cop. You're a madman. Those numbers were an ass pull, man. Yeah. And they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jambo. He hasn't got shit. There's a secret route to the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. How? He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop. People say there was a pinball arcade here sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo? East Delta Pinball Arcade. The old man coughs. Weird place. Went bankrupt. Okay, but... The man looks around. How'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator for that matter. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. From there, a door leads straight into the roof. You can just step outside. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down, all under 7 minutes. It's quite the theory. He turns to Eugene. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys. I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears me and Angus are going up there. That's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of... Shush now. He turns to you. You got something else to back that route up, or is that it? I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop. Footprints. Takes a sip of his beer. Recent? The tracks were recent, but not worn down on the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little Polmic for now. Too confusing. Got a week or so? That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that cop. There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational. Right, what the fuck does that got to do with Ruby? Nothing, I just thought we could bring some down, get the machines in here. Wow, man, can we? I mean, that'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now. Alright. Can we get the barman to bring them down? What else? Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling? I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. He nods. He's saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there. That's right. That's one mystery down then. He nods. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it? Have we firmly established that Ruby could have had access to the roof when the man was shot? Firmly? He shakes his head. Firmly doesn't go well with could have. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route, he forms a gun with his hand, does not put a bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one. Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not, then at least a shadow of a doubt in the shape of a gun. I just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. I analysed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed. So? The man shrugs and looks at you. So it has to come from a breech-loading rifle, military grade. He turns to you. Not even you militia monkeys have those. Doesn't wait for a response, then goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it? Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't get it. Cop, that's exactly what it means. It wasn't strong. Showed him the antique rifle. There are weapons like these all around Martinez. He looks at the antique, a Bell Margrave. He takes the gun, inspects it, and hands it back to you. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it? There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it. 20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. There must have been other caches too. God damn it, we need to close that dump down for good. He nods to it. It's a goddamn breech loader too. You find one that works, you got a military grade weapon. That shoots jacketed ammunition. He shakes his head. He sees it. This is coming together. He must. Time to really close the deal. Show him the bullet. This is the bullet that did it. 4.46. The Bell Margrave uses the same caliber. The blonde man looks at the mushroom Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says, yeah, the bitch is jacketed alright. 4mm too. Whoa. Oh goddamn. His eyes follow the evidence bag back into your pocket. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. He squints. You have been thorough. I'll give you that. I didn't say I'd prove that she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her. Alright, he nods. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself. T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? He almost gets up from his seat. Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this? Phase 3, motive. The last component. Why'd she kill him? It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up. And I suppose you have a theory on that. She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus. Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it. The little man squints, eyes beady. She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shanks? Last he wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd been first. Time for logics demonstration. Okay, Titus, let's assume you killed him. You're on thin ice here, arsehole, he points at you. This is a thought exercise, Titus, he explains. Think, you killed him. Get up there, shoot him, get down. Would you prefer to go on trial with your men as part of a lynch mob, or alone for cold-blooded murder? Alone, I don't drag my men into the shit with me. If she used us, then that'd be a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss. But she didn't. She would never do that. The blonde man looks around. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus. Glenn. Titus looks grim. I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit. Oh. So he didn't rule her out completely, and she skipped town. This is good. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. Yeah, I see it. He puts his beer down. There's one more thing I've been wondering about, ever since you asked me where she was. Add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. He smiles a peculiar smile. I don't know where she went to. She just up and left. Got real scared too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? Why? She was afraid I'd tell you. He looks you straight in the eye. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory. Perhaps. He looks out of the window again. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy though. She made sure of that. When did she leave? Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. What's she scared of? I told you. You. As in the RCM. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. Sure, normal, he says without smiling. You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid, or sniffing her own supply, but he measures you up. Now I'm not so sure. But that's the Ruby tell you about me. She said you have a funny taste in clothes, he scoffs, and that you won't stop. Won't stop? Until you have something on her. She says she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans. Fuck you now, the tattooed man shakes his head. Titus, did he just open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did, he nods. Now we can whine about it, whack him, or we can get on with our lives. I'm having a go at getting on with our lives kind of day. Al, how about you? Silence, he nods. Is that Kim? Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener? You are insistent, he nods. Anything else? Anything? Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this copy. But she was too scared. Scared? You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject. Do you have any clues where Ruby went? She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry. She's on foot. Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her. Yeah, Al. He gives a sharp look, and we won't either. She's not really a... The man stares into his beer. Hardy candidate anymore, is she? She's not, Glenn. Have you looked for her? A little, on the coast. Where have you looked for her, more precisely? More precisely, on the coast. Past the waterlock. He nods southwest. She's not there, so I'm thinking she's there. Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking? Sure. There are some shithouses there, a cinder block town. The fisher folk there refuse to unionize. That's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up. We'll start there. The lieutenant takes a quick note. One more question. What does Ruby look like? Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a lorry man. It's not much, but it'll do. It'll have to. He puts his hand out. Shake it. His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. You know, I don't usually do this. I just measure things, but... You said it would be nice to have a ballistics lab. You could use ours. Nah, we're good. Let's go of your hand. Why not? You could turn this thing into an actual police force. He extends his hand. Afraid you'd actually have to follow the law? Rich boy law is a sham. He shakes his hand. It only works for the Wild Pines lady. So keep your lab. And watch your ass out there. The coast is a dangerous place for lawmen. Especially Mr. Can Opener here. Well, that was a lot. Holy crap. Well, we got our XP point back, so that's pretty great. We got a lot to do. We're going back to the beach, which is pretty cool. We're gonna check for bullets. We're gonna look for Ruby. Ask in the fishing village. We're gonna check the boy and get the fake passport and some money. I need to do that after Kim goes to bed. Oh, I need to do this one. I should do this first. We'll do this as soon as we come back. The dead body. Talk to whoever's in apartment 20. Till then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.